lines. You really thought I'd run? Watch me. 30 years in my pen, Jersey girl with perfect plans. Garden raising my daughter, healing cats with gentle hands. Astrology blog at midnight, you light in 2 degrees. Masters and bachelors, both with honors, so the world would let me breathe. And they type my name on a secret list, paid strangers to make me bleed. So I packed up everything I loved and drove south to be free. But freedom wasn't far enough. Now I'm alternative, setting fires, rusty queen and targeting got every other day. I crossed the Kentucky line, drones in my stats, had the tears in my game, forget rippers on my feet. They're trying to steal my life, but this soul's rooted deep in me. From an elephant to this right dead fire, trying to bury me. Baby, watch me rise, watch me grow. Watch me grow. Black helicopters buzzing, low surveys I never hired. Fake lions on my title, threats in the mail, just walk away. Retired, but every kidnapped bottle feed, every roll the boy I sold is another middle finger to the cowards hiding in the shadows. How I live on YouTube every night, they thought they won't show. This farm is my fortress, my proof, my microphone. You double down in Kentucky, thought the country would swallow me whole. Jokes on you, I'm louder than ever, and I'm never letting go. Time home, steady, freeze, can't rescue, bleeding, follow me to Kentucky and turn the war on 10 degrees. Orange streets in the courthouse, poison in my field tonight, but still I screaming truth beneath these Appalachian lights. You on my head, come take it from these hands. You try to bury me, baby, watch me rise, watch me grow. Watch me grow. I earned every inch of this dirt with blood and sweat and grace. You can fake the papers, you can poison the well, but you'll never erase my face. This is for every targeted woman they try to make disappear. You'll breathe with the hurricane, listen close, you feel that in the air. I'm setting freeze fires, you bring the try to steal. They can't steal my dreams, every view, every share, every can that I save is another land, comes another light. You pay for my life, turning so deep, I took my life, watch me sell the whole watching, paying a price, watch me cry. Hi guys, I was having some technical difficulties. I could not even get onto the chat. Can you all hear me? Hi Joe, hi con artist, hi just me, hi user. Welcome, welcome. Good evening. It's freezing. Yeah, I bet those cloaked soldiers are nice and warm, right? Yeah, I bet they're hiding inside either the Cats building or somewhere. They could even be in here. The invisible midgets. Oh, good. Oh, good. I'm glad you can hear me. Now, I was trying to sign on before, and I've received this error message before where it says that I can't get into the live because my camera's being used by somebody else. Surprise, surprise, my camera would be being used by somebody else that I can't get into the live. Yeah, so that's what was happening. That's why I'm a little bit late. Remember to hit the thumbs up when you guys come in. It is freezing. It's bitterly cold and it's snowing again. So we have ice on top of snow, on top of ice, on top of snow. We've been receiving mail deliveries, but no other deliveries. It's 12 degrees. %30 chance of more snow at 11 p.m. here in another hour. I'm done. I'm done with snow. I don't like it at all. Yeah, it is cold. And it feels colder when the sun isn't out, and then of course you're surrounded by all the snow and the ice. It's different if it's 12 degrees and all of the surrounding area has melted, but because it hasn't melted, it just feels a lot colder. You're just walking on ice. And I feel so bad for the chickens. They don't like it, the cats don't like it. Yes, it's cocoa. Is it cocoa, tea, or coffee today? Well, last night it was tea. So I just mixed cocoa with coffee. What is it for you guys? Do you have a beverage handy? You're ready for spring too. Yeah, it's hard. And you know what? We've had so much snow and ice. I'm almost dreading when it starts to melt. It's going to be so soft and gushy. Hi, Pamela. Welcome. Oh, you're having Diet Coke? Diet Dr. Pepper? I have not had soda, like diet soda. Like literally when I was a teenager, I would drink Diet Pepsi, Diet Coke. What was it called? It was called Tab back in the day. TAB. Oh God. And then just one day I realized that diet beverages were no good for you, and I just totally stopped. I've never had one again. Oh, good for you. Oh, congratulations, user. 4 years, not a drop of alcohol. Joe is going to whip up a coffee. I have to tell you guys, like, I am so addicted to pup cups. I had no idea what a pup cup was. I had to look it up. It's whipped cream. it's just whipped cream. Oh, you remember the tab, right? Horrible, horrible. Yeah, I had no idea what it was. Like I'd see, all these YouTube creators driving their dog to get a pup cup. And I'm like, what the hell is a pup cup? All it is whipped cream. So yeah, like I'm addicted to organic whipped cream now. I have not had whipped cream in years and years until I discovered the pup cup. and then I started to buy organic whipped cream. It costs a lot less money if you just buy the whipped cream and give it to your pup. Hi, Nick. Yeah, that was a funny comment you left on one of the videos. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But back in the day, there was the other kind of whipped cream. What is it called? In the red container. But that wasn't really good whipped cream. Organic whipped cream is so delicious. It's unbelievable. Oh, yeah, bananas and cream, yummy. I love bananas. Exactly. Remember those, Joe? Lipton, Kool-Aid, Tang powder juices. Yes, I remember those. Goat milk whipped cream. Oh, I've never had that. I think I'm going to start ordering food from the Amish and have it delivered. I'm not a milk drinker, but I had ordered from an Amish seller chocolate milk, and it was unbelievable. You know, it's like real unpasteurized milk. Hi, Julius. Welcome. It is expensive, Nick. The goat's milk, especially like goat's milk cream cheese, goat's milk butter. I'm finding that organic butter is becoming very costly. Hi, Amy. Welcome, welcome. Remember to hit the thumbs up when you guys come in. Oh, that is so cool, con artist. He has raw milk farms. They have machines to dispense the raw milk. Do you take your own bottles? Oh, that's a great idea. That's one of the things that I really miss about New Jersey is the food. You could, there were so many different stores. Like if I felt like having Chinese food one night, go out and get it. If I wanted Japanese, wanted Mexican, wanted Spanish, wanted Portuguese, whatever it was, Russian food, just go out, go to the store and buy it. There's nothing, you can't even get healthy food around here. Everything around here is unhealthy. You have to drive to get it. Nick, your food budget sounds exactly like mine. Exactly. Exactly. Appalachia lives on Mountain Dew. Oh, well, that's for sure. Mountain Dew. Hi, Butterfly. Oh, the creepy voice is back. Creepy voice knows that we're just warming up here. Mountain Dew and Doritos. Ugh. Creepy's back. I thought by now that Creepy would get his own YouTube channel. Let's see. By the way, the video got taken down of that lady calling you and I fake TIs. She took it down for whatever reason. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. After you told me that, I blocked her. I really don't have the patience anymore. As soon as somebody leaves a comment that sounds perpy derpy doopy doo, I delete it and block the person. And after you mention that, I don't need people saying I'm fake. I've got too much going on here. It's just another slander, and then you have to wonder where that came from. But I'm gonna say it's probably 2 years now. There was a targeted woman. Well, I think she's a perp anyway. But she had a YouTube channel, and this was so bizarre. It was so bizarre that I watched it live where her V2K was telling her something negative about me. Here she is, she's talking about me. And I'm watching it. You hear her stop to listen to something like in her head. and her V2K told her something negative about me. She said, "Oh no, no, she's having trouble with her cats. I need to go and visit her." and her V2K is telling her something else, and you could see this on her video. Yes, exactly. Julia says TIs can spot each other a mile away. Well, you can spot, you can see it on their faces. At least long-term targeted people, you can see stress on their face. Yes, yes. Yes, there are some very good photos of Morgellons on YouTube. And it's horrible. I mean, they're literally spraying it in the air. This is for educational purposes only. Oh, that's so interesting. Yeah, I think it was Joni Mitchell and Daryl Hall from Hall and Oates. No, I think it was Daryl Hall from Hall and Oates had Lyme disease, and Joni Mitchell had Morgellons. Pamela says all of my perps are drug addicted. Her V2K peeps are dumbasses. Well, these are idiots. I mean, come on. Case in point, did you did you see the unveiling of my neighbor? Everybody that has seen that video, I mean, it's just, I mean, these people, they just give themselves away. These are not normal people. I'm sorry. They're not normal. Oh, you told off your sister-in-law? Why? Is your sister-in-law a perpetrator? The one thing it came to mind was, I don't know if any of you guys knew Helena Chorba. Hi, Kava Scout. Helena Chorba was a civil engineer. She was targeted. And I remember her telling me that, her family was against her, didn't understand what was going on, and she stopped talking to them. And it was so disturbing, to hear that. And after she passed away, it was her family that stepped up the plate, that helped clean out her house, that went to save her animals, that paid for her funeral. So, a lot of times the targeted person is overwhelmed with so many things. You think everything is against you. Hi, Cab Scout. And in Helena's case, I think she misjudged her family at the time. It could be negative feedback that we're getting from people around us, subliminal messages, because they definitely intend to break up the family. Yes, Joni Mitchell, yes. Yes, and she won some kind of an award a couple of years ago. And then she recorded like one last album or song. No, I loved listening to Joni Mitchell growing up as a teen. We had some of the best music. My generation had some of the best music. I don't know what the hell's going on today in music. Although there's some young people that are creating some good stuff. Yes, they paved Paradise and put up a parking lot. That's what they did to the county creek here in Jackson County, Kentucky. Old Judgy Pudgy, he got the orders to destroy the property by pouring concrete. He loves Fleetwood Mac. I think it was like the very first concert I'd been to was Chicago and the Beach Boys. That's the one thing I miss about New York City is they always had concerts in the park. Free concerts in the park. It was so cool. Hi, very soon. Welcome. Some of your YouTube screen names are such fun. Your first concert was with Mott the Hoople? I remember them. I had their album. Album. Yes, vinyl. I had one of their vinyl albums. Yes, we used to listen to Mott the Hoople. Whatever happened to them? Hi, City of Fullerton. Welcome, welcome. We missed you last week. It's 12 degrees here in Kentucky. It's just lovely. But I hear it's crummy across the country. Hi, Carol. Welcome, welcome. Remember to hit the thumbs up. Yes, how could I not notice? I think you have one of the longest screen names too. Yeah, it's been crazy weather-wise across the country. Amy has a 3 foot piles of snow banked against the house. Oh my. Yeah, yes, when you've got 3 feet of snow, you're definitely homebound. -11? Oh my. Oh no, that's horrible. Yeah, what happens is, it starts to melt a little bit if the sun comes out, and then as soon as the sun goes down and the temperature drops, everything turns to ice. It takes me so much longer to do everything. It takes me longer to walk back and forth to each chicken coop because it's so icy. Yeah, Amy, believe it or not, when you have the snow up against the house like that, it prevents a draft from coming in, so it does keep it warmer. Remember to hit the thumbs up when you guys come in. So, do you have any good stories this week? Anything that had happened to you that was either out of the ordinary, that increased the targeting? I received an email that I think I'm going to read a small portion of it. Let's see. Your friend is traveling through British Columbia, Canada, on his way to the Yukon. He expects. Oh, that is really cold. When it gets to 0 degrees, anything below that is just it. It's just I walk from my house to the chicken coop, and by the time I do some of the chores there, my hands are just freezing cold. Putting your smart oh, really? Putting your smartphone in the fridge. Do you think that's a good idea though, because of the temperature change? Yeah, very soon says the perp snowplow driver pushed all the snow on your street onto my driveway. Took me 3 days to dig it out. Criminals. Yeah, that's what they do. Oh, it works just fine. I know that some people have put their phones inside the microwave oven, just make sure that it's unplugged because these criminals, they have the ability to turn things on and off. But yeah, I've heard like if you leave it in the microwave oven, that it's protected in there too. Or you can get one of those metal cans with a metal cover and then put some, rubber inside. But I find that even though in a Faraday bag, I'll place my phone in the Faraday bag. It could be on 100%, and then I'll take it out in the morning and it's on low battery, even though it's been on airplane mode. So I don't know what these criminals are doing. Oh, that's very interesting. Butterfly says, don't use your phone without your ear being covered, something in between. Well, I always speak out loud to my phone. I never have it against my face. Hi, Tigwin. My trash guy purposely broke my trash can, dumps it back on the ground with mechanical arm and force on purpose. Nick says, perps rammed a snowbank I shoveled for an old lady across the street. These people are just so cruel. They seem to be obsessed with trash. When they're surveilling you covertly, they go through all your trash. Imagine you wake up in the morning and it's your job today to go through all the Target's trash cans. Could you imagine what they're finding? It's not just little empty papers and empty cans. It could be like dirty cat litter. They are trash. Oh, Pamela says they stole her contact lenses. They steal everything. Oh, good. Julia started going back to the gym recently. Perps follow me around and get next to me, even though the gym is empty. Isn't that crazy? I've heard that. I've heard other people say exactly that. Start putting your restroom wipes in the trash. I make sure to put dog poop in my trash for them. City says. Well, I always have cat poop in my trash. Yeah, Pamela says you can tell because the perps at the gym don't work out. Yeah, it's sort of like the perps at the supermarket don't buy anything either. They just watch. Yes, Amy, it is a bit worse. Even with the weather being bad, these criminals never sleep. It's unending money and funding. Nick says the more they take from me, the closer I am to God. Oh, wow. So when you were at the gym, somebody snapped your photo. Very soon says, when I first became targeted, the trash guys were throwing everyone's trash in the compactor, but mine into the cab, of the truck. They were definitely examining your trash. Yeah, everybody says that targeting is a little bit worse lately. You know what I think it is too? It's January, so the contracts have been renewed. They have renewed contracts. So they're starting up again. So you may have new perps, new contracts, rotation. Over here, they need to bring in some new neighbors because these are idiots. Let me tell you, they're the dumbest. I have never lived anywhere where the people are so ignorant as they are here in Kentucky. Well, yeah, that's you no longer get dressed at the gym. That's interesting. Pam's sister-in-law's boyfriend works at the waste management. We haven't had trash picked up in almost 2 weeks. You know, the criminals can drive back and forth on the county road. The mail delivery can drive back and forth on the county road. They can plow the county road, but nope, they can't get they can't get the trash picked up in 2 weeks. It was never like that with the old trash carrier before they were fired because Judgy Pudgy wanted to get his own trucks that never work. Yeah, the gyms are dirty. They are dirty. When I was going to the gym, you know, some of the guys and women, they'd work out so hard they would perspire. Like some people perspire more than others, and literally they would be dripping perspiration on the treadmill or the other machines, and they wouldn't wipe it down. Yeah, it's better to work out at home. And now, you know what? There are so many YouTube creators that have workout programs online. There's absolutely no reason to go to a gym unless you want the equipment. You know, because the equipment is not something that most people can have in their homes. Yeah, the gyms are definitely dirty. I mean, think of all the people that are picking up the dumbbells there. Does anybody think about cleaning them in between and lying on those mats? Fortunately, like when I attended yoga class, you would always bring your own yoga mat. Yeah, I believe that, Pam. Pam had a home gym and the perps ruined it. You bought a treadmill and free weights for home, been working out for decades. Well, you know, half of my workout stuff, I don't know where it is. I don't think it made it from New Jersey to here. I only found one batch of dumbbells. I haven't found any of my rubber bands. I haven't found any of my inflatable balls that I deflated. I never found any of them. Like all of my gym equipment that I had at home has disappeared. Now, have you noticed like there are a lot of younger people becoming targeted? And there are a lot of YouTube creators that are targeted and they don't even know it. I had insurance, but they did not abide by the policy. Oh, it's horrible. When I move, I'm going to be doing things very differently. I'm going to make any mover sign on the dotted line an agreement. I'm going to hold them responsible if my stuff disappears. Nobody is going to inspect it, tear it apart. I don't care if it's a federal agent. I don't care who it is. Or maybe I'll just find one of you guys who has a CDL license, and I'll hire one of you guys to move for me. Let's see, they didn't want you to work out. They don't want us taking care of ourselves. I can't get to the dentist easily. I've seen Australia TikTok creator. She doesn't realize she's targeted. Yes. Yes, there are a lot of creators on YouTube that I watch, and I've been watching them deteriorate. I see the face. I see the targeted face. I hear what's happening to them, and they don't realize that they're targeted, or perhaps they're starting to understand that they are, but maybe they just don't discuss it. Ethical hack. Oh yeah, Sean Ryan is being. He's now being gangstalked. Oh, he's so good. That ethical hacker. He's so good. Do you ever notice like these hacker guys, like that ethical hacker? Do you ever notice how beautiful their complexion is? I don't know. Is it just me? Hi, Ace of Cups. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Automat. It's AI. Nick worked as a professional mover. AI complexion? Well, there are so many. Like his skin looks so gorgeous. And then there's another YouTube creator, Make Money Matt, and he's a young guy who claims to have made millions of dollars on YouTube. And he's another one. When you look at him, his complexion is stunning. Probably a filter. It's snowing here. I wish it would stop. I just had to walk away from the screens. There was a jar that fell in my kitchen. Julia says you got to be careful with the ones hit with the beauty stick. They're spoiled. Yes, stories. Yes, if you've got recent events that have happened, feel free to share them. Pamela says, for some reason, I think these people have cancer and they're very mad at healthy people. My labs were great this time, but my friend has Lyme disease. I'm so scared of that. Well, I've had Lyme. The criminals infected me with it. Nick says Bow Wow needs a filter big time. Yeah, the Bow Wow down the block. You have a trash guy on crystal clear video destroying your expensive trash can on purpose. Oh, you have that. Good. Oh, Amy's boiling water to melt ice off the porch steps. Yes, we've got the full moon. I noticed that it's a little bit brighter outside. Well, the physicians will be co-opted. Somebody will go to your doctor and say, "Hey, can you do X, Y, and Z?" And there's no loyalty anymore. There's no ethics, no code of ethics. The snoring in the background is the creepy voice. It's a creepy, creepy voice. It's my perps have done that to all of the live streams, and I've had 2 interviews with other targeted people on their Zoom call, and the creepy voice will get on those calls too. Yes, the Bow Wow is the new name for my neighbor perpetrator. Nick named her Bow Wow. Um, well, we can't really talk about that, Nick, but there are protocols that absolutely help. And I did the protocol to a T. And the one thing about the Lyme protocol is that an unusual positive side effect is you end up losing weight because it gets rid of all the parasites in your body. Pamela says, I think the creepy guy is the caveman from the Geico commercial. Oh, I'm so sorry, Ace of Cups. Oh, that's horrible. She was one of the first people that tipped you off about gang stalking. She experienced it after she divorced my dad. Divorce is definitely a trigger. You dreamt once that you drove to the moon. Oh my goodness, Ace of Cups, I didn't know that. Is your dad still alive? Yeah, the world is nuts. Well, we have nuts running the world. I mean, what happens when psychopaths and narcissists run the world? It's so corrupt. I honestly, I until I became targeted, I had no idea the world was so corrupt. Oh, you're not in contact with them. Okay. You question whether he's involved in what you have gone through. Well, I mean, only you would be able to answer that question if you thought that he might be. But even if he isn't directly, if his associates have had conversations with him about anything about you, it's possible that through his associates. Considering, oh, your mom was stalked, your ex stepmother was stalked, and now you're stalked. They hate women. They absolutely hate women. The only time you're okay is if you're like married. Hi, Eden's Living. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. I had no idea the world was so evil either. Well, Nick says, I wonder if any society can run without narcissists. Well, okay, there's a difference between people who are narcissists, malignant or otherwise, where they have where they have lack of empathy, lack of compassion, and use people, or have narcissistic traits. It's very difficult to run companies without having some narcissistic traits because you have to be a little bit cold-hearted to get ahead in life in certain businesses and stuff. Oh, Eden's Living's at a Waffle House due to a horrendous light assault. I've seen some of your videos and I see how close your neighbors are. And I can understand how that would happen with the houses being so close together like that. Yeah, the Pope prays secretly. uh, the creepy voice is back. I don't hear it on my end until on the replay. No, they're doing it to me too. When I run my fingers through my scalp, like back in the day, my scalp was smooth, my skull was smooth. But when I moved to Jackson County, Kentucky, I feel like my skull has craters now because they keep hitting my head. And that is provable. Yes, I did see that you served the governor. I did see that. Oh, yeah, it was horrible. My rooster and the guinea. Somebody in the comments section said that what they did to the guinea was truly diabolical. And that was like the perfect word for what they did to that bird. Yes, what they did is they went into the chicken coop, stole Chirp, and threw him outside in the cold, and he froze to death. I have spoken to PETA, I guess 3 years ago. I sent them photos of what they were doing to my cats. I spoke to them on the phone, and they chose to not investigate it more. And that's what's happening with PETA and the animal cruelty that's happening across the country. Yes, yes, Dr. Paul Marco, yes. Yeah, there's a huge difference between having narcissist traits and meanwhile, some of those people that head companies that have the traits are only sometimes using them in their business. When they go home, they're all nice and fluffy and cozy, you know? Thank you, Julius. Okay, okay. I don't know how to pronounce your THC8K. We need to start safe houses and live together and protect each other. It's the only way. There are too many of them. A safe house would be at least make it obvious that we could set up 24/7 surveillance. Well, I've tried to do that here. Do you know how many times I wanted to have something in the summertime? And I mentioned it to several people. Let's like have a gathering and have in-person conversation, and nobody would show up. They'd say, "Oh, well, we'll do it next year." Let's see. They gave your cat and you cataracts. Your cat has 4 tumors and have a pseudo tumor because of these idiots, and that's what they do to cats. They will give them tumors. The creepy voice confirmed. You heard, yeah. Well, I have all this acreage. I already have the land. It's already purchased. It's already a farm. I already have water and electricity and all of that. And I had mentioned this years ago when I first moved here. And I actually put it out in Derek Robinson's newsletter, although it wasn't stated exactly the way I wanted to, but I only received phone calls from people in California, many of which did not even have a method of getting here. They didn't even own a car. I agree, con artist. And see, this is the thing. It's very difficult to, under normal circumstances, let's say you're not targeted. You're not targeted and you're going on a date for the first time. It takes a long time to get to know somebody. And especially as the older you get, it takes a long time to know somebody, and just because you make friends with somebody doesn't mean that you can live with them. And that doesn't necessarily mean living in the same house. It could be living on the same property, the same land. Not everybody, even a targeted person or not, has the same ideas of what it would be like to live on land. And not everybody wants to work on a farm. Targeted people are generally very independent. Um, and I honestly, I can't see it happening. I'd like to see it happen, but I honestly don't see it happening. Let's see, she says, I agree, but women's shelters do it. They have to be willing to contribute. Okay. VRL has a great idea on safe places. So, well, what is it? Please share. It's very difficult. You know, and the vetting process is off the charts. That's a good point, Julius. In his opinion, the only safe place would be in a country outside of the traditional Five Eyes intelligence conglomerate. Well, think of it this way. I've thought about this, but let's say, the voice hearers are hearing voices to harm another target that they're living with. I mean, anybody that's been watching the news, you can see that people like spouses, ex spouses, children are attacking their family members, many of which have been on long term pharmaceuticals, experiencing the negative side effects. Yeah, so Butterfly says, I was in a woman's shelter and I thought they were talking on phones, but they had no phone. Oh, he has a video about Safe Place. I did not see that. Actually, I don't think he's posted a video in a while. I know that he travels for work. I think that's probably the better idea. Julius, I think that is the better idea, that a bunch of TIs could live close to each other and provide support, either in the same apartment building or if they're owning houses, like living at least in the same state or the same town or something like that. I mean, just today, I received an email from another female in Kentucky. She's the one that sent me photos of her legs that look just like mine. I think that's probably the better idea, living in close proximity together. And then the thing is, once you can get to know each other and or trust each other, then there's the possibility of moving to, possibly a allegedly safer place. But I think that there are some states that are just off the charts. And I'm going to add Kentucky to that list. And since all of you guys who have traveled through Kentucky say you're targeting increases, yeah, Arizona, California, Florida, Texas. Nick says, move us into Bow Wows. A TI compound living, yeah. Yeah, California is ridiculous. I've heard that from so many people. And I've had people ask me to come move to California. It's like, no way, thank you. I have no interest in California at all. And I will never move to a small town ever again. Small towns, small brains, small minds, small everything. There's even nothing to do here. Unless you're working on a farm, there is nothing to do here. It needs to be a state where gun ownership is legal. Well, that's the one thing about Kentucky. Like, Everybody's got one. That's what Mutterfly, that's it. Earthship, that's it. If I if I could have like my most favorite house, it would be an Earthship. I love those. They are so cool. A geodesic dome homes are cool too. Nick says an island would be nice. Yeah. Yeah, and oh, speaking of islands, have you been listening to what's going on with these new Epstein files that have been released? OMG. Oh my goodness. I didn't think I would be interested, but I was listening to Eliza Orleans. She is a New York City public defender, and she has been combing through these files. And she did her first video on it last night. I love Earthships. I love them. They are oh my God, I love those things. Plus, they can be self-sustaining. In at the front of, usually the front or back, you have a garden. It's like you have a garden within your house. I love those. Julia says another alternative, RVs. If you have the ability to get an RV, TIs could form an RV community that's also mobile. Well, I mean, I could have a couple of people living here in an RV, but I'll tell you that when Jeff the American Pamela says nanu nanu, when all the Mary Jane I find on your property I keep. Nick says. Well, there are, well, I'm not even going to say, but there are other things that you can find that are just as valuable. Let's see, buy a valley in the Appalachians and cover it with a dome, one big dome. Dome homes are so good, and they are protective to the wind, earthquakes. They're unbelievable. The only thing with a dome is that everything inside is circular. So, like, if you have square frames, like you can't hang them anywhere because the walls are curved. No, RVs are not attack proof. Well, when Jeff the American Guinea Pig Cash Cow was here for a couple of weeks, my local criminals here, they got into his RV, they sliced his bed sheets, and took the food that I gave him and threw it out of the RV. Well, there are a lot of people doing that. Just beware of whatever laws there are about RVs and parking them. Amy says, I had a 5-bedroom home. They destroyed everything. I've thought about an RV. I want to sue the city or county. What do they spray the food with? Pesticides. Pesticides. Lots of chemicals. Exactly, Amy. That's what I've been hearing online. Is that they're criminalizing RVs and van life. Those dome homes. Hi, Matson, Mrs. Matson. Welcome. Joe says one big piece of property with spaced apart homes would be ideal. Tiny homes or RVs would work also. It would have to be communal living agreement and everyone on the same page. That's where it becomes very difficult. And also, there is the other issue about drugs, alcohol, substance abuse issues with regular people and targeted people. Yeah, please remember to hit the thumbs up. Welcome, joy to the world. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, they're freezing out van life. Oh, well, you heard about my property taxes. If you could get the Amish to build anything for you, that would be the way to go. Exactly, Julius. There are counties that have no building codes, mostly in rural areas. Well, that's the way it is here. Hi, SCL. Welcome. Hi, Elsie. Welcome. Yes, remember, hit the thumbs up, please. It's like that here. There's no zoning codes here. That's why they get away with doing whatever they want to do. Well, that's true. They do most of this crap while we're away and sleeping. So if there were some that were up at different times, there would be no infiltration time for them. We can't keep doing the same things all alone. Well, I agree, and I think that the targets that are living with other people. Every time I talk to my targeted friends who have a partner or live with somebody, they do not experience the vandalism and home break-ins the way I do, because there's always somebody there. Yes, I can't believe what they're doing to our animals. Oh yeah. Oh, it's unbelievable what they do here to animals. They're disgusting. Yeah, what they did to the guinea was really cruel. That poor guinea. The evil, pure evil. There's just disgusting. Hi, Joshua. Welcome, welcome. Remember to hit the thumbs up. They're still breaking your house, even though Matt is retired. They still do it. They slither in when you're sleeping. I believe you. I believe it. Pamela says, I try staying up to catch them. I've never made it past 3, and that's when they come out. They do. Joy of the World says, I saw the rashes and other ladies talking about this. I think it's the bugs. It's pot. Well, you have to understand, this is even in the summertime, I am covered head to toe. Right now, I am wearing a sweatshirt, a puffy vest, and 2 shirts under that, and then my bra. So I'm wearing layers and layers of clothing. I'm in the house. GMO fleas? Oh, it's possible. I'm always wearing long pants, even in the summertime, and I'm always wearing socks and boots or shoes, whatever it is I'm wearing. So it's not possible. Like I go outside, I'm completely covered. And meanwhile, like the local people, you'll see them wearing flip flops and they don't have anything all over their legs. So it's being done directly to me. Pamela says, I feel like I have a drug hangover, but I don't take anything that would cause that. And until I moved to Kentucky, I didn't have any of this. Zero. They could be slow drugging you, Pam. Remember to hit the thumbs up, guys. Read the story on the Daily Mail about the ex-government worker with Havana syndrome. And Automat says, I think they stole my handsaw. Other stuff gone too. Amy says, I seldom leave the house, but when I do, they're inside and they poison my food. That's the hour. JJ says, I caught the drunk sneaking over my fence at 3 to 4 a.m. Now I put up wire 6 feet with no gate. They've done that to me too, Amy. They did that last year. They sliced 2 water barrels for water. Oh, they're obsessed with stealing the water. Well, I wanted to read something to you guys. I was going to read it in a separate video, but I found it on Quora. Oh, let me pull it up here. It's from 4 years ago, actually. And my laptop is really, really slow. Okay, of course now it's not populating. 1 second, let me find it. I purposely kept it open so that I could read it, and then it disappeared. And now my screen is freezing. I've been having so much difficulty. I came in here. Oh, here it goes. I came in here the other day and they messed up one of the keys on the keyboard. They scraped the inside of my door. They destroyed like my outer door. All right, where is it? Let's see. Okay, here it is. My screen is freezing. Oh, goodness. It takes forever for me to load a page on this laptop. I was watching some of the reasons that you would know that your technology is hacked. And one of them is that your laptop or your phone is very slow because they have some software going on in the background to eat up all of your space, which is what's happening now. Okay, so this is 4 years ago on Quora, Worldwide. Please, many of my for TIs, please read this to get answers to many of the questions you have been asking. The majority of these PSYOPs are mostly useless groups of people. They come from a remote viewer position and move on to become PSYOP CSOs or team leader as such. Most of the time, it depends on the competence of this team lead as to what they can investigate, or if they even have enough brain power to understand and make sense of what they are observing. When the team lead decides to follow a person, then all members of that team, including the lowest of the low life, will start following you as a single unit. This is what you refer to as gang stalking. The gang is this team, and the stalking is basically following you, the target or the victim, with remote neural monitoring, V2K, and DO to subjugate you, make you and your mind pliant to their control. Remember that what they're doing is essentially following the MK Ultra protocol, which is how it started in the 1970s with the CIA starting to experiment with Americans and Canadians for mind control studies. This is basically far more sophisticated MK Ultra operation with satellite and radar stations on a large scale on all the American and Canadian populations. Coming back to the point, this is how they started since sex and violence are two dominant drives of human beings. They try to use these drives against you to see how far they can push you. That itself should tell you that these SOBs are doing mind control on you. And then he says, in my case, it started when working as a researcher. And then with my then girlfriend, who happened to be a state senator's daughter. Even this did not matter to them. They will do anything to control you through directly manipulating your mind or trying to control you through others. You have to be strong-minded. Essentially, they will try to use the sexual drives to pervert you and your life, or they will try to make you more violent. And then says, this is for simple reason. 1, these a-holes are mostly soldiers or defense personnel, or essentially grunts, who have only two things that they can understand: sex and violence. 2, most of these morons do not understand the subtlety of the human psyche. Very few of these PSYOPs are well educated and will have some sense of what to do with all the power our government has allowed them to use without any directives or control over them. 3, they do not have a clear directive. Most of these teams were trained during Strategic Defense Initiative time and later during the TGE War on Terror. They even recruited some Middle Eastern and other foreign-born Americans for this purpose. However, mostly they think sitting in an operator control station that they can identify the extremists or terrorists. That is simply not true. Unless the operator and his team is extremely skillful, they can succeed in some investigations. The fact is that these remote viewers or observers or psychics or PSYOP operators could not catch 9/11 terrorists. They could not find bin Laden until after 11 years after 9/11. So you can see how useless these operators are. In the intelligence community, HUMINT, HUMINT, is extremely essential. SIGINT and science use synthetic telepathic communication or remote neural monitoring They can never match the abilities of a good Hammond's asset or agent. By having a moron sit in a PSYOP operator control chair is not going to turn him into a smart operator or agent or be able to catch baddies. Now, the percentage of morons versus smart PSYOP operators in these teams seem to be more like 80 to 20 versus 20. Most good Hammond operators will poo-poo the idea of trying to find the baddies using science, P-S-Y-I-N-T. So there you go. Most of these moronic idiots do the two things that they're good at: sex and violence. So they use these drives against each other and victims, hoping to hold on to one or more dogs, i.e., unsuspecting citizens and their families, including even children. Yes, some of them are possibly pedos, drug users, and murderers. You know why. That is what these intelligence agencies want. They want those people who do those things that a decent human beings would never normally do. He says, I have sent mails to senators, Senate intelligence committees, congressional committees, White House intelligence agencies, and others about this gross violation of human, civil, and constitutional rights. There must be clear-cut directives to these operators as to what they can and cannot surveil. And they need to void all civilian population areas. They need to better educate these operators. There needs to be direct punishment to those PSYOPs who violate human, civil, and constitutional rights of ordinary American citizens and their families. They need to make these capabilities public through FOIA requests. Yes, so ordinary American citizens who are or have been affected adversely or have been hurt physically and psychologically have a legal recourse to compensation from the federal government. These brain-to-brain and telepathic communication scientific capabilities are already being published through advances in computer technology such as Neuralink by Elon Musk, brain interfaces for gaming. Brain-to-brain communication is rapidly and successfully investigated. Just Google SOMR, some of these terms. You will see a large number of references. These operators must be themselves programmed with internal memory markers that will allow them to understand and when to drop their dreaming session. Yes, that's what it's called when they are in a remote observer or viewing session. More on this later. Been into this session a few times. This may seem outlandish, but it is a fact. Remember, Inception, the capabilities to program minds to some extent edit thoughts, thought streams. These can be done with these sessions. When done in pairs or with an observer or a PSYOP operator, not many of these operators can do this well enough. This will answer some of the questions such as, why do I lose my thought stream or forget stuff or not be able to hold thoughts in my mind? This has become some PSYOP operator is holding you in remote neural monitoring field and overriding your thoughts or neural activation patterns of your brain with an EMS field, or simply his own thought patterns. So I thought that was interesting. Hi, Cold Fact. Welcome, welcome. Let's see. I've been burned in public almost every day. If I leave the property, friend's home, each has a different person. Massive portion of the population is into this. So I've missed a lot of what you said while I was reading. Oh, absolutely, Pamela. Pamela says, I don't think they're good at sex. I think that they're Minutemen that have latent homosexual tendencies. Well, that's what Kay Griggs says. Kay Griggs, former military wife, says that Yes, yes. One of the worst parts of this program is being tethered to these losers and being violated by them. So what she said basically is that these military guys, they're immature, they hate women, they hide behind trees, they're taught that women are evil, their wives are evil. She says at the very minimum, they're bisexual. She says most of them have homosexual tendencies and they hate women. Very immature. And they're all mind controlled. And this is what she said in her interview, her 5-hour interview. Yeah. JJ says LED lights can fry the retina and burn us by frequencies. Yeah, they absolutely hate women. And this is why, and it doesn't mean that men are not targeted. We have a lot of men in the chat here. But there seems to be an overwhelming percentage of females, and it appears to happen after a breakup, after a divorce, seems to be a trigger. Joy to the World says, if you don't already have the baddest surge protector, get the $100 one at Home Depot. It helps a lot. Remember to hit the thumbs up, guys. TG says, I'm going to start saying, oops, you dropped your Visa gift card, and see how many of them look down. Okay, I'll take a look. SDL. I don't want to check my email right now because every time I switch screens, it starts to freeze up. Hi, Nike Slim. The question is, do you think that's why they try to separate women and men so much, to leave women vulnerable? Absolutely. Absolutely. They want to break up marriages. And another thing is they want to emasculate men. Well, I guess it was a couple of years ago. It was stated that at a minimum, 1/3 of the population are the stalkers. 1/3. The other third can go in either direction. And then there's the 1/3 that's like you guys and me, that can't be swayed. Oh yeah, they definitely run when you pull your phone out. What they do around here when I pull my phone out, everything gets quiet. Sometimes I'll actually turn off my phone. Good point. Narcissistic abuse on steroids is what this is. Sociopaths and psychopaths. 1 in 30. The Lucifer effect. They like to split us up and take assets. Lawyers are very much. Oh, the lawyers? Oh, they're horrible. They're very much involved in targeting. It's not just breaking up relationships, it's usually they're activating a sleeper cell, and that is your spouse. STL says they target my backside in privates, trying to, yes. Well, they're doing that across the country, and divorce is definitely a trigger. Definitely a trigger. Yep. Ace of Cups says the part of me that gets me is that women do this to other women. The men in their life seem to control them, or they've been brainwashed to think women are the problem. And they do. They will delete videos, interfere with them. I had like a 45% on my phone. I was taking a video outside. They shut down my phone. And then I thought, well, maybe it's because it's so cold outside that the phone shut down. But when I came back in the house, it rebooted back up, and then
it dropped down to like 15%. So I still had battery there. There was no reason for it to shut down. Yeah, incandescent bulbs, yes. You can still find them. You were married to a honeypot for 10 years. I think it's somewhat impossible to ground because they screw everything up. Yeah, if you're trying to tell your aunt about this and she purposely kept changing the subject, she's aware of it. You know, she's been made aware of it. She doesn't want to talk about it. But doesn't it appear like across the country, like colon cancer is like on the rise? Like what is the reason for that? My theory is because people are being targeted while they're sleeping in that area of their body. Because that's what these perverts do. Remember to hit the thumbs up if you haven't already done so. Yes, there are a lot of people. Yep. But STL says she kept saying, "Why don't you get an electrician to check out your outlets?" Yeah. That's right. In a small town, all the everybody knows each other. I have to call outside of this area to get any work done here. Hi, Billy. Welcome. Oh, what happened? Billy Chaffin Jr. Message deleted by. Oh, is he a perp? I'm going to view the deleted message, see what's going on here. Hi, Joshua. Possibly troll alert. Okay, I didn't see it. I was reading something else, but let me see what the message was. Oh, yes, Billy Chaffin Jr. says, "We are all watching." Yeah, I'm sure you are, you little perps. Losers. You have nothing better to do on your Saturday night than watch us? You perverts. I would like to do that. If I install a software, it's going to be StreamYard and not Zoom. I really do like StreamYard. And what I like about StreamYard is that you can invite people in to speak. Oh, it's probably one of my neighbors. Billy Chaffin Jr. Probably. Probably. I'll have to look it up in the phone book. Chapman's? Any Chapman's in I don't know. I'll have to look it up in the phone book. Yeah, StreamYard is a pay for. What I like about StreamYard is the ability to click people in and out. People can be waiting to join. And also it allows you, like if you're like two people, let's say, I think it was with God is Our Protector. when I interviewed with her a couple of years ago, we were able to change our backgrounds so that people can't see into our homes. So we were able to do that. Oh, and yes, I've heard that from some people. Hi, Joshua. Um, that Zoom is government monitored. Well, I think that most of these free programs are unfortunately more easily infiltrated than with something that you're paying. Coldfac asks, has anyone else been having in-depth dreams, like not manipulated?
Zoomy.
It is horrible outside. Joy to the World says, I'm here to brag about my 5-day fast per Dr. Berg. 5 days, that was good. Zumi just came in. I was wondering where he was because it's so cold out. JJ says, I had to call a lawyer in Portland. No, I don't. I don't plan on traveling out of the U.S. They stole my passport when I moved here, and I don't have a passport anymore. I would like to get another one, but I just haven't had time. It's not on my list of things to do anymore. Yeah, it's still 12 degrees here. Hi, KG. Oh, they stole your passport too. Oh, no. I have that also, JJ. JJ says, I don't dream anymore since this started. It interferes with my natural abilities. That's exactly what they do. I used to have precognitive dreams, and now I don't remember anything. They steal it. They steal your intellectual property. Oh, wow. Maybe we should do a Q&A. Maybe I'll post a question on the community page. How many people have had their passports stolen? Annie, hi Annie. Annie says her passport's gone too. Wow, this is serious. JJ says they killed my dogs and cats, ruined my car, blew out the electricity on the north side of my house. They don't want you to leave the Matrix. Yeah. They are identity thieves. Yes, yes. Well, you know, these criminals, they stole my master's degree. They stole my ministry certification, my New Jersey license plates, my check register. And we can't leave out my watch. My watch. Yeah, they steal formal documents. They stole my mother's uh, driver's license. They stole my driver's license. And I kind of figured out who stole my driver's license. It was actually somebody working on my property that they paid to do that. Yes, that's on my list of things to do, Amy. I was watching a video about that. Yep, I was watching a video about that earlier this evening. Pamela says they stole my new chair and replaced it with an old one. Now, I've heard that. I've heard that they do that. I posted photos of what they did to my boots. It's the third pair of boots where the company has a lifetime warranty. They don't understand what keeps happening to my boots. This is the third pair of the same boots in 1 year. In a year. Let's see. Hey, KG says they made another set of remote keys for my car. So check your car if you have a key fob. They stole Pamela's Western Chief boots with the cherries on it. That's a really good point, Ace of Cups. I think they use these emotionally significant items for black magic. It's very possible. They stole vehicle titles. They learned a lawyer that was committing insurance fraud in her name. Oh, the law! I guarantee the lawyers here are corrupt as hell. You can delete the extra keys off your car computer system. Joe says, I believe it. Sometimes my trunk is open and I know I didn't open it and the key's not left in my pocket. Ace of Cups says, our energy is tied to them. Oh, God forbid. So they cast spells with them. Imagine the mindset of somebody that wants to watch somebody else. Meanwhile, they're so clueless that they're being watched also. And also because they're the ones that are committing the crimes. Oh, look, my screen just disappeared. 1 second. Since they're the ones that are committing the crimes, the people that are watching them will end up setting them up for something because they're the ones that are actually committing the crimes. I've noticed that Zoomy, he used to sleep on my bed, and he used to sleep in another place in here, but he's moved. He's moving to a spot, a very unusual spot, and I think it's because he's getting hit when he's sitting on my bed. Oh, good night, SDL. I hope you feel better. I'll check my mail after the live. SDL says, stay strong, family. If you haven't already hit the thumbs up, please do. Because I see there are 50 people and 36 thumbs up. So I guarantee all the neighbors down their block, their little coven, is sitting around stirring the pot, listening to the live stream, trying to figure out what we know. Remember to salt yourselves and entryways of your home. It will protect against bad spells. You have no idea how much salt I've gone through. Yes, they are freaks. Yeah, they're freaks. Mm-hmm. There's just so much snow and ice right now. The salt just melts. It's better on a day. Don't worry about Lorraine. It's up to losers. Fix yourselves. Let's see. Is anyone else taking a huge breath after all the gaslighting over the holidays? Yes, vinegar and salt are antibacterials. And hydrogen peroxide. Yes, I spray hydrogen peroxide in the air. But I think I'm going to do that vinegar thing. One of the subscribers says that she's been simmering vinegar in her house and she's been breathing so much better and it's been cleansing the air. And she added a little oregano oil. Oh my, that's ridiculous, Amy. You made a cat Faraday spot for your cats. Tell me how you did that. The valuation office, it's just BS. I have to I'm gonna file another complaint because what the county lawyer did, he's such an asshole. So he sends me an updated response. Oh, good night, Elsie. Good night, Elsie. An updated response. And he sends me something that he typed up, allegedly from Bobby Edwards, the PVA. But it's not dated. It's not dated. It's not signed. And it says nothing about a property tax increase. Zero. It gives an assessed value, a taxable value, and the taxable value is what I paid for the place. So if the taxable value is what I paid for it, then the property taxes should have remained the same as when I bought it. So this updated letter says nothing about a tax increase. It doesn't give the tax dollar amount increase. It's not signed and it's not dated. So it's another bullshit letter. Good night, Julius. We're going to be signing off in a little while. I ended up starting the live about 15 minutes late because I was having technical difficulties. So I'll let it go another 5 or 10 minutes so that people can catch up. Pamela says something similar happened with her medical bills. Well, of course they pocketed the money. Oh, I'm still going to dispute it and I want it back. And it says in here, well, unless you dispute it within a certain time frame. Well, I already did. I already disputed it with the Kentucky Department of Revenue. So I already sent them my information. They haven't gotten back to me because they're all in on it, But nevertheless, I did it within the appropriate time frame for when I found out that I received the increase, which was in October. Of course they pocketed the money. Of course they wanted to see if I would pay it. Because if you don't pay it, and this is the way it works in a lot of towns, is if you don't pay it, then your property gets listed as not having paid your taxes, and then somebody else can come in and pay your taxes and take your property. I mean, I'm not an idiot. There are only idiots that live around here. So this stupid letter that I received today is a crock of bullshit. And the same thing with the property taxes. I paid it under duress. I wasn't going to not pay it and have a penalty, but I intend on getting it back because I am protesting it. Colfax says, on one of your videos, you called someone a biatch. That was hilarious. Well, I have to be YouTube friendly. Although, I cannot believe it. There are some YouTube creators, every other word out of their mouth is like an F. There's a lot of vulgarity. Well, thank you. Thank you. Well, I hope everybody is going to have a great rest of the night. And I appreciate all you guys chiming in here and giving your feedback. And for the people that came in late, let's see. I read something from Quora. And it was basically from the Gangstalking Worldwide. It was 4 years ago. So for anybody that didn't get to hear that, it was a good one. And JJ says, I bought metal screen door replacement and put it around the storage tub, cut a hole, sewed it together with wire, cheap. So it's a so is the storage tubes. Phoenix put a fraudulent lien on my house during my divorce. I mean, that's horrible. I mean, divorce is difficult enough, right? Well, that's what these criminals do. I really do believe that divorce is a factor, a triggering factor, where they go after you. That's why none of the women around here will get a divorce. They know that they're going to be fried if they get a divorce. So they stay even though their husbands suck. Or maybe the husbands think that they suck and they don't want to get screwed. Hi, Brenda. You know, people stay in relationships and marriages sometimes for all the wrong reasons. And the truth is that not everybody is meant to stay married forever. Anyone know any bill help for utilities? I think it goes by state. Sometimes there are what is like utilities energy assistance, but it goes by state. It's not like a federal thing. I know my electric bill is going to be ridiculous. It was $284 last month, but electricity. Oh, it went mute for a while. Yeah, my screen was glitching, it was buffering. Exactly. You have to go to your state. Just type in the search. It's usually energy, like you use the word energy, gas, electric, assistance for your state. Okay, guys. Well, thank you all for joining in. And I'm going to end the live stream now. I hope everybody has a good night. Am I going to get more guineas? I'm not. I'm not going to get more guineas. No, I'm not going to get any more guineas. Well, I'll tell you something about guineas. First of all, they are the cutest. When they're babies, they are the cutest babies you ever want to see, but they are neurotic. They are like, they are so energetic. And when they sleep, they like to sleep on top of each other when they're babies. And they kill themselves. They're so difficult to care for as babies. But they are so cute. They are the cutest, the tiniest little babies. But no, I'm not going to get any more because I'm moving. I'll just have more animals to have to move. They are so. I actually have a couple of videos on how neurotic they are as babies. I'll have to find it and post it in the community page if I could find those videos. I took photos of I think one or two of them. They were trying to get out of a box, and they were like incessant. Well, anyway, have a good night, everybody. I'll talk to you guys soon. Oh, yes, yes. Joe says, don't forget to try to have at least a couple of weeks of food and water stored just in case. Yes, absolutely. All right, have a good night, everybody.